What's up, Eagles Nation? It is Sunday. It's game day finally in the NFL. And yesterday evening, there was a bit of interesting news in the world of football to where Antonio Brown signed with the New England Patriots. You want to sign that the Patriots are desperate? They just signed Antonio Brown 3 hours after he got cut. You're desperate.
Can you feel that thing that's oozing out your doggone hand? That thing is beating your doggone chest right now.
Okay, Antonio Brown, uh, immensely talented football player. Like no one is talking about his ability. He's definitely top two, top three wide receiver in the NFL. Probably to be real with you, in terms of just pure skill set, he's probably the best wide receiver in the NFL. I mean, you could make an argument about Julio Jones, but nonetheless, he's up there in his abilities. With that said, I mean, come on, man, the dude damn near froze his feet off because he's an idiot. He threatened to take a swing. He didn't. The reports got a little out of control. He didn't actually swing at Mike Mayock, the GM of the Oakland Raiders, but he threatened to take a swing at the Oakland Raiders, GM. Like, do you know the type of cancer you just introduced to your locker room? Like, this isn't a Randy Moss type situation. This isn't, Josh Gordon and substance abuse type situations. Like, this is a whole different animal, man. This isn't like a Terrell Owens and a diva type situation. Like, he's way beyond just being a diva. Like, this guy is straight up cancer. My prediction is this is going to get ugly for New England. Number one, it shows how desperate you are because everyone around the league, all those who do this content creation, we all knew you were going to make this move. Philly would probably have been the only other locker room that could have taken a gamble on something like this, and we weren't moving on this guy. Um, the problem with this is that you can't sit there and take the perspective that Antonio Brown has to adapt to the New England way of doing things. It's Antonio Brown. He doesn't give a damn about Bill Belichick. He doesn't give a damn about Tom Brady. He doesn't give a damn about Michael Bennett. He doesn't give a damn about any player in that locker room. He feels he's bigger than the game itself. He's only worried about his personal brand. Look, I get it from his perspective. I think there is an intelligence to him because he does realize that your ability to make money off of the physical aspects of playing the game are very limited. So I get to an extent where he's going with some of this stuff. But from a team that was in the conversation of winning a Super Bowl, I'm surprised with some of the projections that now think that they're a lock to make the Super Bowl. I think that this is poison to the locker room. There's a lot of personality that's going to be competing in that Patriots locker room. There's a lot of tension. There's a lot of issues in that Patriots locker room. Look, Josh Gordon's a very talented player, very talented, but he's got issues with substance abuse. He's already admitted that the reason he was so laughable last year as a wide receiver had to do with his struggles with substance abuse. That's not a good thing to introduce a player like Antonio Brown to that. Look, I know that Tom Brady and I know that Bill Belichick are professionals, but you can't tell me that when Tom Brady finally learned, when it's 100% certain now, that Bill Belichick tried to move away from him a few years ago with Jimmy Garoppolo and trade Brady away, he doesn't feel a certain way towards Bill Belichick right now. Okay? I don't think that relationship is quite as cohesive as it might seem. You got Michael Bennett, who I don't think Michael Bennett's is a personal thing, but he does care about his personal brand. He's more concerned about the social issues that he wants to bring light to. But that's a strong personality. And you really think he's going to put up with Antonio Bryan shit? No. Like, man, I feel like that could be a fist fight waiting to happen in that locker room. I mean, I hate to bring this up, man, but your owner, not even your owner, isn't like can't keep himself out of trouble. It was like a year ago that he was getting hand jobs inside of a damn massage parlor down in Florida. Like, come on, like bad decisions. The Patriots need a calming effect, and I know they're the defending Super Bowl champions, but this is cancer, man. This is just straight up cancer. I'm going to go on the record right now and say that this can be the start of what sinks that Patriots organization. This was a bad move. All right, on to the game today between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins. I know that it's very rare that You beat a team within your division by more than you beat them by double digits. I get that that's a rare kind of thing, and it's hard to do in the NFL in general. With that said, the Washington Redskins left side of their offensive line is so horrible. They have such unproven commodities at wide receiver. Like, I gotta be honest with you, this could get ugly, and this could get ugly very early for the Redskins. We might actually have to Pop Warner rule their ass. If you don't know what that means, guys, if you ever play Pop Warner footballs, when you beat an opponent so badly, you have to place the ball at the 50-yard line and allow them to keep playing offense until they finally score. Like, I respect the Redskins defense, but I can't see it, man. I can't see it. I think it's going to get ugly. Um, Keys to the game. I think they're simple. I already kind of did a video there. There's a lot changed though with Jordan Reed basically not playing. It's really going to change the outlook of the Redskins offense even further. Vernon Davis is still decent enough wide receiver, but with that said, they're not going to be running 13-man personnel because they're going to lack a third tight end unless they bring an offensive lineman in to basically run that 13-man personnel from. I do think that we will see a lot of shifts from their right side of their lines over to the left. So you can't not just try to attempt to run to the left at all. You're going to have to try to run to the left side of that offensive line, the right side of our defense. But with that said, I think you're going to see a lot of Sharif and like Moses being pulling to try to free up space there, try to lend and help on the blocking. And I think you'll see the Redskins trying to run pretty heavily to the right side of their offensive line. I like Geis. He's a very good running back for them. He can take contact, but I can't see it, man. You're way too one dimensional. It's going to be quite obvious what your plans are. And losing Jordan Reed is going to be a hit. Now, I'm not going to say that there's no possibility the Redskins, can win this game because there's a possibility. If the Redskins were to pull this win out, basically three things would have to happen from their perspective. Number one thing is they would have to dominate the Eagles' offensive line. They would have to get a lot of pressure on Carson Wentz and force turnovers. Number two thing has to happen is they have to find a way of counteracting the weaknesses of their left side of the offensive line, whether that's pulling from the right side over to the left or whatever it is, or just running to the right. They're going to have to overcome that. They're going to have to establish that running game with guys. If they can establish the running game with guys, then they might be able to work in some deep passes off of play action. Maybe hit McLaurin, Richardson, players like that down the field. But to be real with you, outside of Kelvin Harmon, you basically have duplicate wide receivers. They all pretty much do the same thing. So you're not very diverse in your wide receiver room. So my prediction, and I'm not going to do a score because scores are whatever. There's so much that goes into so many variables. But my prediction is the Eagles win this pretty easily, and they win this pretty convincingly. All right, that's it, guys. Football's back. Week 1 NFL season. So really only one thing left to do, and that's to say EAGLES, Eagles. All right, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace. I'm out.